Well, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jakarash here. Welcome back to Dust, A Tale of the Wired West. Last time around we ended on a bit of a predicament where I basically made myself stuck. And for whatever reason, I ended thinking that I'd have to start the whole game over again. Not remembering the fact that I had a save file from not that far back, like another one. However, interestingly, when I was playing through the game again before that, I ran into this glitch or something where I was talking to Zeb, or Zeb was talking, and Zeb is that guy with this, like, the cracking voice who's playing poker, who's got the purple hair and glasses. And, this weird glitch where no text was showing, and you click on him, and then the picture and the color just kept getting all the more, like, distorted and whatnot, which is, like, just a little freaky. And, then when I got out, all my save files were gone. And I was panicking, and I'm like, great. Now I really have to play through the whole game again. But then I looked through my game files, actually went through and looked through the whole files on, like, Windows Explorer and stuff, and I found them elsewhere. And then I relocated them, and then there they were. So then I just moved them, so I don't know what that's all about. There we go. Now this is a little further back. I did get Marie's handkerchief before talking to her outside this place. Also, I had hypothesized that you were supposed to get the mask before that scene, or before that one part.
My mother's mad at me because I'm such a wicked girl.
What have you been up to today?
Lots of things. Oh, but I'm just practicing.
She just says the same thing.
How are you this afternoon?
Would you like something? Your handkerchief, madam?
No. No, thank you. I thought it rather cheap anyway.
You don't want your hanky anymore. But, what am I supposed to do with that?
It is dusty, isn't it? I haven't seen Papa wheeze so much since that history book appeared. The one with all those lies about our family. Papa was so irate he bought up every copy he found and burned them. There aren't many left.
You know, it just occurred to me, an etymological connection. I never drew the connection between the word irate and irritated. Or irritate. Huh. Makes sense.
Without a formal invitation, why, it's not proper. And I dare say you don't know me well enough to. But then again, maybe you do. All right, stranger. Tell me. What's Papa's first name?
Cosimo?
That's right. Enter, but don't forget to wipe your feet. Bye-bye.
She's quite taken by me, isn't she? Also, yeah, no idea how to
Afternoon, stranger. I apologize for last evening's absence. Official business. You've also managed to turn my daughter's head as well. Yes. I serve all my constituents with integrity.
Her handkerchief?
No thanks. I never touch the stuff. Shops? Good God, man, look at 'em. Sorriest bunch of traders in the territory, but they couldn't sell corn whiskey to an alcoholic. Solid as the Huarache Mountain. Strongest safes, inviolate. I know. I sit on the board. All right, stranger. I must pick up some red jack parrot seed for my wife. Paying for water goddamn bird shovels down its gullet would break creases. Afternoon.
Red Jack parrot seed. See, I've also been thinking, because the only reason I can't actually... The only reason I can't get the mask is because the moment I grab it, the bird goes berserk. So I've been wondering if there's something I can feed the bird in order to grab the mask.
Great balls of fire! My nerves are shot, absolutely. Is anything amiss? Gracious, you found Marie's hanky. Find Marie, she's looking for you. Talking does a soul good. That's what I told Nate Trotter this afternoon. He's looking a little sad, don't you think? At 54, there's been only one woman who could tame Nate. His first wife, an Indian, a Uni. Their marriage never formalized. Ha! Immorality's rewards. She died and he never got over her.
Ah, come on. Pea-brain intolerance.
You're so kind.
I'm calling you again.
Yes, visit again. We so enjoy visitors of quality. And Marie is quite taken with you. I dare say you make Radisson quite jealous. Radisson's about to propose. Imagine, related to the Boston Bloodstone Hazes. The prominence, the respect. Where are my calming medicines?
What do you take?
Dr. Friedrich Schoenbaum's calming medicine for female nervous disorders works wonders. I prescribe double the dosage for myself. Ta-ta! You darling thing.
So much for charity and things like that. See, I don't think I can get it from him.
Afternoon.
Trying to find supplies.
Now that's a mite hard to do in this town.
Anything worth buying?
Got a special on beauty cream. Morrow's skin cure with secret Arabian secretions. Big with the gals. Miss Sophie, she lays it on with a trowel.
Got some aspirin.
I couldn't sell it to you. It'll rot your stomach. All right now, stranger. Goodbye.
go pay attention to Mrs. Clinton.
Hello, stranger. I've just returned from the Gingriches. Interesting case. The spasms only afflict Newt's far right side. Most puzzling.
How's young Newt doing?
That feisty scamp. He yells and spits and calls me such outlandish names. He got so worked up, I had to sedate him. With a mallet.
Hmm. I still have the handkerchief.
Goodbye, stranger.
That kind of looks like the bottle. Not a lasting change. Yeah, just like so much for, you know. There's neither Greek nor
Afternoon,
Gentile.
stranger. I couldn't help but
neither
notice
Jew
that you
nor
got
Greek.
some money. Why, you ain't even got $10. Go earn some money. Maybe we'll meet again.
Greetings, saints and sinners, and all those in between. This afternoon, I'm in the mood to deal. Come see Ned DeVries for all your equine needs. I got the best hoop under one roof. Can I help you?
What you got?
Depends, kid. What you looking for? You're welcome.
I think I tried this already, but...
What? Kid, I can't use that. And if that ain't a fact, God's a possum. Love to talk with you, kid, but I can't just now. See you around the barnyard, kid.
Sure, bud.
See you around the barnyard, kid.
Wait.
Afternoon. What can I do for you? Why, this is Miss Marie's. Oh, my, yes. Such a clean, living girl shouldn't be without her hanky. I'll return it to her and pledge my heart. Thank you, stranger.
Here is a chit for a free night's stay.
Why, thank you.
No, none at the moment.
I wondered. I still had it, but...
Oh, my, yes. I'd do anything for Miss Marie McIntosh, but I guess I'm not dashing enough. If only I had an excuse to speak to her. Something to give her that would make her notice me.
The handkerchief?
Oh, my, yes. But I'm being too bold.
Oh my, yes.
Afternoon.
Oh, could I give this to Buick?
I must pay out by tonight, or I am put out to the streets. Merci, monsieur. If we stay at the hotel? You are sly, eh? So, we make the deal, yes?
Sure, what do I get for helping you out?
C'est bon, c'est bon. Regardez, I offer you a choice. Regardez, monsieur. Voilà, wine. An 1873 Chateau de Cadillac. Mwah. C'est yum. And it is from France. Or if you prefer Buick, he has this. The collar of my cape. The finest Siberian sable. So soft. Pick one, monsieur.
Oh, goodness. Who would want what? Fur or wine?
Au revoir.
Interesting. You give him a card for something that he can stay, and then in the Titanic game, he gives your character something to get off or to get out. This filing is invalid.
Ah, monsieur. You discover a way for Buick to stay in hotel?
Yeah.
Merci, monsieur. C'est bon. A refined choice, monsieur. The wisest, I think. Enjoy the fur. I, Buick Riviera, man of many plans. Thanks you for the chit and the chance.
You'll hunker lower than a gator in a sinkhole. I'll give you 5 seconds to explain yourself. Mercy, where did I place my manners? I'll show you ammo. Right here. Go on. Have a look-see down that barrel. Come back when you've got something worth trading ammo for. Now get the hell out of here. Next time I won't miss. You better have something good to trade. Mercy, where did I place my manners?
How about the fur?
Mountain Laurel Girl Trapper's a fair trader. But this fur you're peddling ain't sable, it's cat. Goodbye, baby. Remember, I said I wouldn't miss.
Oh! That time she actually killed me.
Laurel's bullet found its mark. There wasn't anything Doc Rodham could do, except call for the undertaker. We buried the stranger in Shady Acres. It was a nice coffin. The best we could afford. I think he would have appreciated
it. Okay, so how many different people can kill me? So, Laurel can kill me. Nate can kill me. Cobb can kill me. The mayor can kill me. Jeez. Man.
monsieur.
So she does like fur, but not that fur.
Merci, miss. C'est bon. A refined choice, miss.
I doubt she'll like this.
You'll hunker lower than a gator in a sinkhole. I'll give you... No thanks, baby. About as useful as teats on a hen. I'm loading shells, and I got enough to take care...
So, what about if I offer her that the first time around? She won't kill me, but it does give me a hint, yes?
Merci, monsieur.
You'll hunker lower than a gator in a sink. Mountain laurel girl trapper's a fair trader. But this fur you're peddling ain't sable, it's cat. Goodbye, baby. Remember, I said I wouldn't miss.
Hey!
Laurel's bullet found its mark.
But that was
There wasn't anything Doc Rodham could do.
So she'll just kill you
All
anyway.
for the Undertaker. We buried the stranger in shady acres. It was a nice coffin. The best we could afford. I think he would have appreciated it.
Okay, we do know that she likes fur. Just not that fur. In which case... Where can I get me some good pelt? Where can I get me some of that?
Hello, what can I do for you?
Where can I get like the parrot food?
Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some sugar. Over there are some wash basins. And I still have a few irons left. What would you like to buy?
Irons? What's ironed?
Your shirt does look a bit rumpled.
Oh. That's what you mean.
That newsman Flippo was asking for you. Keep out of trouble, stranger. I'm warning you.
Hello there, friend. What'll it be?
Wait, hang on.
No problemo. Bye, friend.
Game of jack, sugar?
Yeah.
Set yourself down, darling. Come on, Wrangler. Make your bet.
Okay, so I wasn't recording it, but I did play this game at one point, Blackjack, and we both, it was a draw, but we both got Blackjack. It's crazy.
You win. All right now. Place your bet. Next time you're feeling lucky, come see me.
Janine, I believe is her name.
Care for a little game of blackjack?
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Stay.
Let me deal you a new hand. Have a seat, cowboy. I'll make it worth your while. Lay that
Sure you
money
will.
down, darling. Let's try it again. Come on, Wrangler.
It's true, she does have
Make
a
your
bust.
bet.
I'm sorry.
Bye-bye, sugar. Remember, ask for Janine. I'll take care of you.
Let's go play some poker.
A salubrious afternoon, is it not?
Salubrious.
Think you can beat us, you greasy runt? Well, me and Mills and Buckmore Pete here. We's the sharpest poker players in Diamondback.
Are you sure you want to play? Us three shared fortunes off a passel of dudes, and most of them were sharper men than you.
Let's begin. Ante up.
$10.
I fold.
$10.
I seized your bet.
What is your bet? By how much?
I'll match what you got.
Oh, whatever good can you believe? I'm a busted.
Click on the card you'd like to discard, then press continue.
Three of a kind.
I bet $10.
Place your bet, please. Raise. By how much?
Let's try bluffing.
I'm out.
Ah! Got him.
Nicely played. Looks like you're now master of the cards. Shall we begin?
I quit.
You seem to be in a mood to talk. May I ask what brings you to Diamondback?
My health. Tell me about yourself.
Delighted. I'm a Southerner, as you could no doubt discern, from Mobile, Alabama. Born a slave, but raised free and a gentleman, and a well-off one, too. That fat bank president down the street may hate to admit it, but I am his biggest depositor.
Kind of reminds me a bit of Carl Weathers, just a little bit.
It's a frightened town. The Belchers respect neither the law nor civility. Anyone dissimilar by way of color or belief or brain power is a threat to them.
Herodotus is your name,
Goodbye.
yes?
No, I can't talk now. The Reverend Limbaugh's got pinworms. Pity, isn't it? Goodbye, stranger.
Limbaugh? Like Rush Limbaugh? That just adds all the more, just like the fact that she looks like Hillary Clinton. That's funny. That's very funny. She's gone, which makes me think there's something I can swipe here. Oh, she's back.
You again? There's no time to waste. I'm consulting with Dr. Elders. Goodbye, stranger. No, I can't talk now. I must drain the bile from Mr. D'Amato. He's beginning to fester. Goodbye, stranger.
She keeps disappearing. There doesn't seem to be anything I can do here. Can't grab that bottle.
Why, if it isn't Mr. Vanderbilt, come to give me $1 million. What do you want, Mac?
Want to deposit money?
Well, how much? Need anything else? Delighted to take your money, always. Need anything else?
What's new?
Someone should tell our Euro pal, Mr. Riviera, he's overdrawn. Need anything else? Yeah. What are you doing? Get away from that safe.
Makes me wonder if I can do something about that.
That newsman Flippo was asking for you.
So he was.
There's big trouble, Buck. See Mr. Flippo. He's got the scoop.
Hello there, friend. What'll it be? There you be. Topped off for $5. Sure, I'll chew the cut a spell. Nate Trotter's the stubbornest cuss you ever saw. But he's dog loyal, my friend. You can trust Nate. Ha ha!
likes a good cigar, like I appreciate a good tip. Now, I'm not dropping any hints. I'm just stating a fact. There. Anything else I can get you? No problemo. Hasta la vista, baby. Now where have I heard that before?
I was just reminded how possibly something else I could get. Laurel is the whatchamacallit.
There is trouble by Yimney.
Wait. Just trying to find Radisson because wondered if he'll. Oh yeah. Wonder if he'll give me a cigar. Because I know Laurel likes cigars as well.
What's doing?
Would you like something? A bottle of wine, perhaps?
Thanks, Sport. Always did appreciate a good vintage. Say, you look like you could use a cigar. Here, take the entire box.
Oh, thank you.
Bored. This place is full of interaction. What about a game of cards at the hard drive? Nice speaking with you. Good afternoon.
Now, as far as this game is concerned, the first time you meet Buick Riviera, a box of cigars, that might be a good trade. The first time you meet Buick Riviera, as far as this game is concerned, is up here. But in the Titanic game, he asks your character, and like you say, yes, we met at the hard drive saloon. Naturally, it's not the same character, right? Like, my guy is not Carlson. But it does mean that Carlson was here at some point. If we're, taking everything canonically,
You'll hunker lower than a gator in a sinkhole. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Box of cigars.
Cigars! Baby, you know how I like cigars. Thank you. Mountain Laurel
You're welcome.
Arrow Trapper's a fair trader. And I hear you're needing bullets. Help yourself to some ammo. Take all you need.
Thank you. That, didn't stack, though. So, I just found it another way. You could get ammo. Other than giving what's-his-face, some not too great postcards.
Glad to see you. Don't forget to vote for me. Afternoon.
Alright. Well. Sure. Hey, help.
Afternoon, stranger. Still alive, I see. What you want?
What's for sale?
Stranger, I still got this book. You want it? Special afternoon discount. $35.
Okay? Okay. Your funeral. Remember, you
My
get stuck.
funeral.
You come see help. Good afternoon.
Got me curious.
No! Don't shoot! Whew. It's only you. For a moment there, I thought it was somebody dangerous. Now, what can I do for you? Well, how much? One, two, three, here.
Don't sound so sad
What are you
about
looking
it.
at? It's all there. Need anything else? Someone should tell our Euro pal, Mr. Rivy. Yeah.
Oh, wrong way. It's because he's got me curious.
What now?
Want to buy something?
No more big sale today.
What?
Help too busy to gossip like old woman. Goodbye.
Just hoping I don't run into that guy.
Afternoon, stranger. Still alive, I see. What you want?
What's for sale?
Stranger, I still got this book. You want it? Special afternoon discount. $35. Okay? Thanks. Here, you like this. Read it just like Anne Rice. Your choice, stranger. Hope you appreciate it. Remember, you get stuck, you come see help. Now out! Mrs. Help, she wants me home for lunch.
It's a card. Wars, Lizards, and Longhorns. A remembrance of life in old New Mexico. Andrew Jackson Lunamos. Strap yourselves in, boys. It's time for a read. December 25th, 1880. Santa Fe, New Mexico Territory. I, Andrew Jackson Lunamos, being of sound mind and body and no earthly possessions, and near the end of my life, I will to the town of Diamondback, New Mexico, its own story, heretofore known in full to no one but me. George Windfall. Wait, that's the name of the teller. Isn't it? Chapter 1. How I got there, or the man. How I got there, or the Mad Monk of Santa something. Silver and dreams, a father's last words. A town is founded, Diamondback it is. 49ers in the 50s. Pioneers put down roots. Sacks of sweet salvation, the rush for more on silver. Who's going to the Super Bowl in the NFC anyway? I know my team, the Chiefs, are going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 2025. It's going to be the Eagles. The Eagles and the Chiefs. How appropriate. The Dry Belch of War, the North-South conflict. The Chiefs are my team in so much as I live in Kansas City. I am happy when they win. But because I lived overseas, I don't really have that much loyalty to the Chiefs. Like just utter and total loyalty to the Chiefs. And in fact, I actually, like, because I lived overseas, like, and didn't really have much affinity to any state in particular, my family, or my dad just, like, showed me, like, you know, his football book, and he just told me look at the helmets and stuff, and we're just like, you know, which one is our favorite team, or that is, you know, I looked at it and decided which one was my favorite, and I picked the Falcons, so that's why I have a soft spot for the Falcons. And then, of course, I also have a soft spot for the Packers, because that's my dad's team. And then also the Vikings, honestly, just because they're the purple team, and I love purple. But, yeah, so... And then the Ravens. The Ravens just look so cool. And black and purple. And also Ravenbeak. Anyway. The Dry Belch of War. Reference to the Belchers. The North-South conflict. The Great Plod West. Diamondback's domesticity. Bovine brawlings. Cow punching. The struggle for land. The lawless years. A royal flush of rogues. Be brave. The future. Diamondback meets her destiny. Oh boy. This is gonna take a while. But I'm committed. Chapter 1. How I Got There, the Mad Monk of Santa Marta. I was born in New Orleans in 1815 to an American mother and a Spanish father who fled the colonial authorities in Veracruz following a tax dispute. He became a blacksmith and opened his store on Bourbon Street. My mother died of yellow fever in 1821, and my father brought me to what is now the American territory of New Mexico. I was only a child of 6 when we arrived here near the Huarache Range, just west of the Rio Gordo. It was a location he'd seen only once before on a map belonging to Jean Lafitte. My father fought with the infamous French pirate during the siege of New Orleans. One night during a siege... Oh, is this in reference to the War of 1812? Yeah, which that was an interesting story. Just like Andrew Jackson, he has like his Tennessee Volunteers, and there are some, I think, recruited slaves or something. And then like around in that area were also some French pirates who were on furlough, and they're like, hey, you want to help us fight the British? And they're like, sure. Or something like that. Infamous French pirate during the siege of New Orleans. One night during the siege, a drunk Lafitte showed my father his greatest secret, an old map, which indicated a trove of Spanish treasure stowed in a hidden chamber of an old New Mexican silver mine. Lafitte was so utterly convinced of the map's veracity that he intended to come explore the mine himself, but he never pulled himself away from the sea to venture into this arid, distant land. Diamondback and its environs was Mexican then, for an arrival here followed independence from the Spanish. We followed the Rio Grande north through the desert, then turned left onto the Rio Gordo just north of the Socorro. Here, not far from the Sad Little Creek, we found the bone-littered ruin of the Santa Marta Mission. In 1821, the mission was deserted except for a strange old monk, a deaf mute named Geronimo. Writing in an old-fashioned Spanish script with an ink made from juniper berries, he informed us, that's interesting, he informed us that he had been keeping the records of the Church of Santa Marta for over 100 years. He estimated his own age to be 138. He prayed among the bones scattered on the chapel floor, Spanish victims of the 1680 Indian uprisings. In the 1500s, conquistadors had founded the mission and enslaved the nearby Uni Indians to work the silver mine called the Devil's Breath. We've heard of this. The Uni crafted items of great beauty, which were displayed in the mission. But the mine was soon exhausted, and the Uni, after years of forced servitude and cruelty, arose. They slaughtered their Spanish overlords and burned the settlement. The mission's priceless silver disappeared. Oh. Geronimo. Yeah, he's the monk. And that's his ghost, I think. That's in the whatchamacallit, the mission. Legends say the Spanish hiding the treasure deep within the old mine before the revolt. There supposedly they remain, guarded by the Uni spirits. Geronimo vanished only a few months after my father and I arrived. We never learned what became of him, except that the bones on the chapel floor seemed to have increased in number. Perhaps that was only my imagination. Several years later, another priest arrived. Or is it this guy, Father De Silva, living to a great age, succumbing at 76 years in 1872. The current overseer of Diamondback's spiritual needs is Father Mercado. A man of compassion, Mercado has recently arranged for the instruction of the Uni children, turning a storage area in the mission to a schoolroom. He also provided a room for a few sacred artifacts, protecting their heritage from further depredations of miners and souvenir hunters. Father Mercado and Sonoma, the youngest daughter of the tribal chief, hope such endeavors will help the Uni, who have suffered so much in this, their own country. Chapter 2. Silvering Dreams, a Father's Last Words. To those who speak Spanish, the valley of the Rio Gordo sounds like a paradise, the Fat River. Its banks have attracted and disappointed many settlers. It was one of them, Guillermo Bolivar. Oh yeah, he's the dry goods guy. The founder of Diamondback's venerable Bolivar clan, who gave the river its name. Not because the river itself was fat, it was not wide. I do not believe that it ever was. Bolivar named it the Fat River because the river had fat in it. When we first saw it, it had rained so little here that a thick scum had formed on the creek's surface, just like the land rendered from 1,000 hogs. Or the lard. Yeesh. Life was never easy for us. Reminds me, earlier today, yesterday technically, my landlady had left a tray with bacon grease in dishwater. Life was never easy for us. We lived on reptiles and juniper berries. The Bolivars, who owned a small ranch by the river, showed us great kindness. We lived on reptiles and juniper berries. When we could, we searched among the ravines and plateaus on the nearby mountains for the silver mine. My father had seen only once marked on a piece of... When we could, we searched among the ravines and plateaus of the nearby mountains for the silver mine. My father had seen only once marked on a piece of parchment held by a drunken French outlaw on Rampart Street so long ago. Perhaps my father was disturbed by the heat. He suffered long spells of brooding silence, preoccupied with the mission and Geronimo's records, even going so far as making long burying copies of some of the books of the Apocrypha. The Mexican and American War of 1846 ended his search. Upon hearing that the same men he had fought beside in New Orleans 30 years before were now invading his beloved Mexico, my father took ill. He died, suffering hallucinations of both heaven and silver, saying he would soon possess the treasure he had sought his whole life, to share it only with the ancient Spaniards. I buried my father in the dusty graveyard of the mission, and vowed that I would never suffer such delusions. I put aside the search for the old man's tragic fantasy, and have not carried a pick since the day. I marked my father's grave and went into the mountains, because I knew nothing else. From the Indians I heard rumors about what was happening. Massacres, upriver, downriver. Massacres of Mexicans by Americans. Massacres of Americans by Mexicans. I was prepared to ally myself with whomever I met, so treat either the Americans or Mexicans as long-lost brothers. Chapter 3. A town is founded. Diamondback it is. I found out about the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, and how the whole of this land now belonged to President Polk and the United States of America, when I saw men on horses encamped along the Rio Gordo. The riders wore blue coats and shiny buttons, and were more white people than I had seen since I was a small child in New Orleans. They asked me in English where the nearest town was, and full of mischief toward these people who had defeated my father's country. I replied in my mother's tongue, pointing them in the direction of the mission and graveyard, a village of ghosts and bones. They followed my directions and went there. But they never did understand my joke, because they stayed there a month of Sundays. Camp at de Gordo. Under the direction of Colonel Samson McIntosh, the soldiers put a camp in the shadow of Santa Marta. The men called it Depot Gordo, and built an army livery and dispensary, an army headquarters, and a saloon called Neely's, after its proprietor, Jack Neely, a retired cattle rustler, if rumors are believed. I thought things would return to the dry, almost deserted Rio Gordo Valley as my father and I had known it. But by 1850, I kept seeing more and more white strangers, most of them headed west. Stopped for a night or two, just long enough to keep the saloon and its upstairs enjoyments in business. One man even made a hotel by erecting a canvas tent in an area we soon took to calling Main Street. The hotelier's name was Skitz Sheraton. I remember that picture. An energetic man, Skitz said the demand for hostleries was so strong he would erect his tent in a cactus bed. Hence the name. Charge a nickel apiece for the pleasure of doing so and see a booming business. His idle boast became a reality in the cactus bed, the modern hotel which now graces the original site. Skizz's tent was often full up. These travelers, 49ers, we called them, packed the place. Skizz set up a shooting range for added amusement and profit. Why are they called 49ers? It's like the 49th state of America? Where we get the term 49ers. Gold Rush of 1849. Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. But I guess it wasn't the same gold rush as like the Yukon Trail, if that even was a gold rush. But Skiz set up a shooting range for added amusement and profit. Soon word got out that here in Depo Gordo could be found entertainment and relief from the heat. On any given day, most of the people in town were visitors who'd never been here day before yesterday and might never be here again the day after tomorrow. Since such transients kept us in business, we couldn't afford to be critical. But as more people started coming through, the small but growing business community expressed dissatisfaction with the town's name. Santiago Bolivar, the father of Diego, organized the first town meeting. A council of nomenclature was created to bestow a new name upon Depo Gordo. Harold Cedar proposed Gila because of all the creatures in the desert. That lizard seemed most likely to survive. John Belcher was restrained. John Belcher nominated Cottonmouth because that was the most common sensation on mornings here following, as all mornings did in those days, a night spent at Neely's Saloon. But it was Tarleton Slowwater, I remember that name, who came up with our current name. The Diamondback rattlesnake, he said, seeks shade and sleep. Also popular pastimes amongst our two-legged inhabitants. After weeks of argument, Diamondback became a general favorite as the proposal seemed the least likely to cause problems in the future. When we finally got a post office in 1859, a pony express drop-off, to be more precise, though they didn't use real ponies and it wasn't really an express, because messengers were more likely to use mules and once a cow, Diamondback was what the United States Post Office called us. So Diamondback is what we remained. Yeah, cow. It's like the oxen you use in the Oregon Trail. The civilizing element, two of Diamondback's early settlers. Chapter 4. 49ers in the 50s, pioneers put down roots. Among those who arrived in the 1850s was Nate Trotter and Hiram Sidewinder, the Undertaker. An Undertaker, Sidewinder arrived in time for the cholera epidemic and decided, given the primitive sanitary conditions, that Diamondback offered great opportunity. Oh boy. Trotter, heading back from the California goldfields, heading back from the California goldfields was, I'm guessing, yeah, from where? Watering his horses in the Rio Gordo and himself in the saloon when was watering his horses in the Rio Gordo and himself in the saloon when he read of John Brown, the killings in Kansas, and the likelihood of war. He chose to stop here and wait for things to cool off back east. Of course, things then began to cool off for more than a decade, and by then, Trotter was settled. Nate soon met a uni woman named Mesa. Enduring... Was she black? No, but... She's Indian. But, you know, could be darker skin, and then you could call her Black Mesa. Anyway, nice. You know, Marie is called Black Marie, but she's not even black. But she's black for a different reason. Like, because she's kind of a goth girl of the day. Scorn of both societies, or just an edgy gal, you know. Scorn of both hang on. Enduring the scorn of both societies, the couple lived as if husband and wife. Mesa, an accomplished musician, suffered an untimely death from fever. Another arrival in the 1850s was Cosimo McIntosh, young son and heir of Samson McIntosh, whose fortunes apparently didn't carry over into Chicago, where we heard they had moved. Cosimo McIntosh, the younger McIntosh, returned to us wearing a U.S. colonel's uniform. He apparently intimidated enough people with it to claim some land along the Rio Gordo on behalf of President Pierce and the U.S. government. Obtained a permanent tab at the saloon by threatening to close it down for violations of federal regulations he pointed to in a book he never allowed any of us to read, and took a wife, Hassie, who I think was impressed with his uniform. By the time rumors spread that Colonel McIntosh wasn't even a U.S. officer, that he had stolen the uniform from his father and had in fact been court-martialed as an enlisted man during the Indian campaigns in Utah for impersonating an officer, well, by then, Cosimo McIntosh was so well ensconced in our tiny economy, there was little we could do about it. A little extra space there. He's a fraud. A bit of one, anyway. Chapter 5. Sacks of Sweet Salvation, the Rush of Moron Silver. Fool's Gold and Moron Silver. Traffic had begun to dwindle toward the late 50s, but by then we were seeing some of the same faces coming back from the direction in which we'd seen them disappear. Years earlier, ranchers, hunters, even a handful of prospectors. Most of these were on their way home from California, disappointed at what they'd found at Comstock's Lode. In 1859, for the first time since my father had told it to me, I heard whispers of the Devil's Breath. Word was out about the legendary silver. Prospectors flocked there's a space that should be there. Prospectors flocked to the old mine in search for the trove. They enjoyed no luck. Sometimes they proudly brought canvas pokes full of shiny rocks into town and attempted to sell them to Diego Bolivar. Miner of Moron Silver. Invariably, he smiled and informed these innocents that they'd spent the last weeks or months mining iron pyrite. So pyrite is both fool's gold and moron silver. In most places, the metal is called fool's gold. In Diamondback, iron pyrite was known as moron silver. How about stupid silver? Anyway. The Great Diamondback Pirate Rush was on. These rocks contributed to our economy so significantly that the saloon offered specials on pyrite. 1 free glass of red-eye for a 100-pound sack of moron silver. These greenhorn prospectors were so distraught about their wasted labor that they generally spent the balance of their savings on whiskey. The town's economy owed so much to the mineral that we considered renaming the town Pyropolis, but we feared it might give too many people the right idea about the mining fortunes hereabouts. Meanwhile, the saloon built the fanciest privy in the territory, with seats constructed of shiny pyrite obtained from that whiskey offer. You can still see it today, behind the hard drive, although disgruntled prospectors have carried away the better part of it. Wait, what? With seats constructed of shiny pyrite obtained from that whiskey offer. Chapter 6. That was a shorter chapter, or I just breezed through it. The Dry Belch of War, the North-South conflict. The pirate rush didn't last long. Already stripped of silver, the Devil's Breath quickly ran out of pyrite too. We entered the Civil War dead broke. In 1861, Diamondback was remote from the organized states in many respects. We expected this Easterners' war to pass them by. That's what they're referring to it as. Blacks were not strangers to Diamondback. Some had passed through here as free men. Others were runaways that had chosen to take their chances with the Apaches rather than risk the vicissitudes of the slave return laws up in the north. Yeah, that was a thing. But New Mexicans had no laws about slavery. It was neither legal nor illegal here. Most of us in Diamondback thought it a repugnant institution. Good for you. Yet in the summer of 1861, the Confederate States of America declared Diamondback to be part of the Confederacy, or so we thought they did. Late that year, Confederate General Sibley came from Texas. In December, he arrived down in Mesilla. The people of Socorro County knew and respected General Sibley. Before the war, he'd whipped the Seminoles and the Utah Mormons both. Yeah. Oh yeah, was it around this time that Joseph Smith claimed to have the vision and stuff? If anything, it was a demon, but when he captured Albuquerque and declared that everything south of the 34th parallel was Confederate, Diamondbackers were disinclined to argue. Diamondback had forgotten what war was. The Mexican-American War veterans were long gone. Some left west, others left east, some in army convoys, some on stolen horses. Some who drank too much stayed here, of course, but since they didn't often wear their blue uniforms anymore, we no longer thought of them as soldiers. Now Diamondback was saddled beneath another national government. The old one never meant much to us, and we were confident that this new one would mean just as little. At night in Neely's one could hear drunken men singing Dixie, though they never did get the words just right. Some had been out on this side of the Pecos for so long that they weren't sure exactly where Dixieland was. Baja California, some said. The Yucatan, said others. But they sang the songs, and some even sewed rebel flags onto their sombreros, drawn from memory of the Taggart boys who had seen a Confederate outfit taking off toward Asbestos. Though they didn't get those flag designs exactly right, either. Some of them looked more like British Union Jacks. Diamondbackers were surprised to see the Stars and Stripes again in the summer of 1862, when as Urveyor from El Paso arrived on horseback and told the citizens that they were wrong about the town's latitude. Diamondback was actually a few miles north of the 34th parallel, and Union troops were driving General Sibley out of New Mexico anyway. Confederate New Mexico. We had heard little about the war except from scarcely believable stories told by deserters on their way to California, but suddenly a Union army arrived from the west, calling themselves the California Column. This Union army swept from the west to the east. For many here, the martial law established by Union General Carleton was their first taste of federal government. We liked it very little, but we named one of the streets Grant Street, after the Union hero of Vicksburg. One detachment of the California Column, led by a Union colonel named Kit Carson, camped in Diamondback for a few weeks. Everyone liked Carson well enough. We called him Rope Thrower, just like the Navajo did. Isn't Navajo spelled with a J? Because the old adobe-style houses were much stouter than the flimsy buildings we'd put up in the last 20 years, Carson decided to use them as an ammunition supply depot. He commandeered Santiago Bolivar's store and several other private residences. These munitions were not for use against the Confederates, apparently, because they'd already retreated to Texas. In the absence of the Confederate Army, these New Mexico Yankees, in the absence of the Confederate armies, these New Mexico Yankees, lonely for enemies to fight, found Indians. Carson didn't like it, but he followed orders, making raids against the Union, Navajos, and Apaches, scattering them with his firepower. On March 29, 1864, Kit Carson's artillery magazine in Diamondback blew up, destroying Main Street's adobe structures. Whether the blast was an act of God, a saboteur from the Uni or Apache nations, or a townsman tired of living under organized government, remains a mystery. In any case, the Union Army's interest in Diamondback ended with the explosion. The dry belt of war, said Santiago and Bolivar. Except for the jail, what was Main Street lay in ruins. When we heard of the Appomattox surrender, yes, surrender. I forgot what the name of the place was, but yeah, surrender in the spring of 1865. We lined Main Street with colorful broken glass from the saloon. But several weeks later, we heard of the last-ditch Confederate victory at Palmito Ranch in Texas. Word didn't get around fast enough. That they're, I think that was a thing, yeah. Fearing a renewed rebel sweep, Diamondback hastily named a street after General Lee. Mr. Gilmore, the pro-Northern owner of the great Southwest Stagecoach Companies, sequestered a cache of bullets and ammunition behind a portrait of the Union savior. Fortunately for a war-weary Diamondback, the Appomattox surrender held, along with our tempers. Calm and serene, we concentrated on the grand task before us, taming our portion of America's western wilderness. Chapter 7. We're almost there, or we're getting there. The Great Plod West, Diamondback's domesticity. After the war, more and more travelers came through. As before, many of them desperados and fortune hunters, deserters and war criminals. But now there were also doctors, accountants, mothers with children. Very few of them lingered for long before moving further west to Tombstone, or Virginia City, or even San Francisco. Still, they brought work and money and news of the world beyond the Pecos. The Pecos? Or Peso. Or is it pesos? No, it's not pesos. Yeah, I did learn a bit of that in the movie Tombstone at the beginning. To peddle that news, a newspaperman from East Texas named Chesterfield Leonidas Filippo arrived in 1866 and began publishing a daily news sheet called the Diamondback Rattler. Rattler! Right, because it's named after a snake. And also just rattling, media. It's a nice, fun play on words. Such is the nature of this town of bad spellers that we shortened his name to Chet Flippo. And it stuck. Oh, that's funny. We were grateful that in the early days he drew pictures of the news for us to help us understand things like radical reconstruction and impeachment. I am not sure any of us followed it, but we enjoyed the pictures anyway. It was from Mr. Filippo that we heard that Napoleon III made the Austrian Archduke Maximilian the new Emperor of Mexico. Really? Interesting. Flippo drew a world map with lines connecting this odd-looking character with a feathered hat on a throne in France to another character with epaulets and medals in Austria, then across the Atlantic Ocean to another throne in Mexico. John Belcher and his sons never believed any of it, but all of Diamondback appreciated Flippo's imagination. Observant visitors may discern that Flippo has a limp in his right leg. That came in 1869 as the result of a violent confrontation with Charles Finney, the editor of the Trumpeter in Dry Rot. Not 16 miles from Diamondback, who accused Flippo of slander over some exaggerations that Rattler had printed on the origin and nature of Dry Rot. The two met to have it out at the Belcher Ranch. Facing each other, they began firing and emptied 4.6 guns without hitting anything but 3 skinny steers who had wandered into their sights. The editors, after years spent reading newsprint, had difficulty discerning anything beyond their type boxes. Or after years spent reading newsprint, had difficulty discerning anything beyond their type boxes. In frustration, Finney tipped an elderly milk cow over onto Flippo, pulling his hip out of socket. Flippo has never fully recovered and still has difficulty with that leg, though he doesn't like to talk about it. The two journalists have feuded ever since. And take opposite sides of every issue. To get an accurate picture of everything from pork futures to the Franco-Prussian War, they say, one must read both the Rattler and the Trumpeter. The media, am I right? We print anything. Mr. Flippo's motto. Chapter 8. Bovine Brawlings, the Struggle for Land. For those who owned the saloon and the dry goods store and the bank, of course, growth meant silver and gold in the form of U.S. dollars and double eagles. Santiago Bolivar, who had operated a hardware depot since the days of the rush, expanded his dry goods business. His son Diego now managed the store, while Santiago retired to make modest improvements on his cattle ranch on the Rio Gordo, located downstream from town. Diamondback's effluence had fertilized the soil and, at least on his side of the Gordo, seemed to make the ground more fruitful than it had ever been before. In the summer of 71, his crops began dying. Bolivar learned that the Belchers had dammed the Gordo at their property upstream, diverting its scarce water to their cattle, then running whatever remained into the desert to allow it to evaporate and disappear. They saw any competition as a threat to their cattle market. Bolivar complained to the Belchers. 2 days later, he was found on his property, drowned in the 9-inch puddle the Gordo had become. Man. This reminds me of how you can read the entire Rubaiyat in the Titanic game. Although in that copy, there's like a few parts that are missing, because I compared it to like another copy, like a copy of the Rubaiyat online, and it seems like there are like a couple of verses or poems or something that were missing. But maybe that's like, that just wasn't part of it, the Rubaiyat back in the day, or like maybe it was updated. Anyway, the people of Diamondback had never been interested in an organized elected city government before. We had always counted on Diego Bolivar to take the necessary initiatives. Following Bolivar's death, Cosimo McIntosh argued the need for political administration. He staged what many call a municipal coup and became, in effect, the town's mayor. McIntosh counts the ballots every 2 years, and there are those who claim he's never gotten a popular vote outside of the one he casts himself. He remains mayor today. The murderer of Santiago Bolivar was never found. The auto-ambulating 2-passenger velocipede. Chapter 9. The Lawless Years, A Royal Flush of Rogues. The combination of Diamondback's freedom from laws and lawyers attracted the great desperados of the day. Billy the Kid, Russian Bill, the Apache Kid, Mad Todd Appleton. I wonder if that's just an added one. Yeah, because Todd Appleton, isn't that Bill Appleton's brother? I don't remember. Yeah, if that is the one, I think because one of Bill Appleton's brothers played Vlad in Titanic. Or I say one of, but I think there were 3 Appleton names. All of them were familiars at the Neely's establishment. An occasional lynching kept things in line. Though whose line, we were never certain. It changed from week to week, and as long as we minded our own business and kept the liquor flowing, we appeared to be safe. We knew only that we were living better than we ever had, and when one group of strangers hanged out another group of strangers from the cottonwood tree in Shady Acres Cemetery, we waited until they dried out. It usually took only a good, cloudless afternoon, and then cut them down to keep from scaring new customers. With so many outlaws in town, Diamondback boomed as it never had before, and we thought it would last forever. That was before one card game got out of hand. Uh-oh. In the summer of 1873, lawlessness had pretty much run its course. Some entrepreneurs had feared that after 15 years, the crowds would soon thin out some, and with them, Diamondback's slim livelihood. To ensure that some travelers would keep riding into town and keep buying red-eye at Neely's Saloon, the establishment began hosting territorial poker championships. On the first and only day of this event, on July 27th, 1873, at about noon, 16 desperados gathered at Neely's for the long-anticipated gambling Olympiad. Among them were Russian Bill, Bonehead Hawkins, Agate I. Annie, Agate I. Annie. I feel like I've heard that name before. The Apache Kid, Black Bertrand, El Paso Patsy, Doc Yesterday. Doc Yesterday as opposed to Doc Holiday. That's funny. El Paso Patsy, Doc Yesterday, Bucket Foot LaRue, Horsehide Henry, The Kid, Pumpkin Boy, Quick Silverfoot, Colonel Bajulai Johnston, Coyote who eats his toads by moonlight, and one man known to us only as Greg. Each contestant was accompanied by a second, well-armed and ready to offer valuable advice on the gentleman's game of five-card stud. So I guess that's the name of, like, just regular old classic poker, five-card draw or five-card stud. Just past 2, a fine dinner of pan-fried jackrabbit and cactus stew was cleared from the card tables when the Kid looked across the table at his partner, Doc Yesterday, and said something no one quite understood, though Jack Neely swore he heard something about rabbit grease on the hearts. Apparently convinced that everyone present was conspiring against him, the Kid pulled out 2 revolvers, should be capitalized, 2 revolvers, and shot his partners, his opponents, his seconds, and everyone else at the table. Jeez. Before any player had an opportunity to put down his cards. Then the Kid reloaded and killed several witnesses as well. Things got ugly after that. In the confusion that followed, a barroom fight over whose bloody bullet perforated cards were whose and who actually won the poker championship became a riot that became a small war. Things got ugly after that. Yeah, you don't say. By the end of the week, the poor little town of Diamondback was closed down. Its bank looted, its cattle eaten, its women stolen, its whiskey drunk, its shells spent. Neely's was closed for good. So that's why it planted the seeds for the hard drive saloon. We understood only then the purpose of government. And when President Grant sent a U.S. Marshal to us, we did not resist the order. However, this new Marshal did. Marshal Evander Law vanished after... what a name. Vanished after 2 weeks here. Then another who was sent to find him, Marshal Art Sakademi. He too vanished. Sexadomy? Another Marshal Brady vanished. Or then another Marshal Brady vanished. After only 6 hours in Diamondback. We first thought, of course, that it was the work of rustlers, that our brave marshals had been kidnapped and lynched, perhaps thrown into the Rio Gordo in the dark. Indeed, the familiar scum on the river's surface seemed thicker than had been before. but within a few weeks, we heard someone had seen Marshal Brady in Albuquerque at the Centennial 4th of July parade in '76. We soon learned that the Lawsmen had founded their own baseball team. The Albuquerque Marshals? What in the world? But only 5 of them were actual U.S. Marshals. 2 were sheriffs, 1 was a deputy, another a jailer. What? Chapter 10. Be Brave. The Future. Diamondback meets her destiny. Diamondback nearly died out altogether after the gunfight in '73. Even the purchase of Neely's by Una Canute, a well-traveled woman recently of San Francisco, would not turn the tide. When Miss Canute's wagon broke down in front of the... before I even saw that, I was like, wagon broke down. I'm like, Shuttered Neely's. In front of the Shuttered Neely's, a cowpoke asked, hard drive, ma'am? Una Canute aims to please. It is now, responded the enterprising Miss Canute, who had seen the "For Sale" sign across the darkened windows. The rechristened Hard Drive Saloon was open for business the next day. It was the Lincoln County War 2 years ago that kept Diamondback in business. This war, or feud, between the ranchers in the county, just to the east of us, really, it was a brawl with ammunition, got so hot in 1878 that people actually fled to Diamondback. Preferring the silence of the Cactus Bed Hotel's lobby to the gunfire in Lincoln County. This was a new concept for us. Diamondback was so glad to see the refugees come, bringing money to spend in the saloon and the dry goods store. Then more people from Lincoln County came to kill the refugees, and we were glad to see them come too, because they brought money to spend at the saloon and the dry goods store. The famous Lincoln County War was very good for Diamondback. We got to know the neighbors. One of them was Billy the Kid, who came to town looking for the men who had killed his friend, the English cattleman John Henry Tunstall. Billy didn't find his men here. They had left the day before. But Billy got silly drunk at the Hard Drive Saloon that night, then went upstairs with one of the larger girls. When she opened at noon the next day, Una Canute announced in the bar that Billy was no longer a kid, said we should start calling him Bill the Hombre. But we already had an outlaw in town by that name and didn't want to make more trouble than we had already. President Hayes declared that he'd no longer put up with the Lincoln County War. Lew Wallace, the Union general from the Battle of Shiloh and the new territorial governor of New Mexico, announced measures to suppress the violence. Meanwhile, Diamondback continued to go about its business. A new sheriff was appointed by Mayor McIntosh, a Mr. William Purvis, who holds that post still, outdated. There was bitterness over the loss of the railroad route when it was announced by executives of the Pecos and Pacific Railroad that the tracks would run through asbestos and dry rot instead of the more northerly route by Diamondback. Isn't asbestos a disease? I feel like I've heard the name before, but it's like not a good thing. The disappointment was mitigated somewhat by the opening of Watson's Apothecary and the installation of a telegraph at the Southwestern Stage office. The arrival of the town's first doctor, Miss Rodham, of Whitewater, Arkansas, was met with near universal approval. An axe to grind, Dr. Rodham. I am an old man now, and I have seen much. Soon I shall be reunited with my beloved mother and father in that place of blessed peace and potable drinking water. Though few visitors wander into it, I feel uncertain, as my time on earth draws nigh, that Diamondback, New Mexico, is at the dawning of a new age. Whether this new day will bring good or evil, I cannot predict. I know only that we have that we have come to expect. I know only what we have come to expect. Fides. Well. Huh. Oh, you could go to the different chapters. So that's the whole thing with the bookmark. Man! Just read a little book. That was interesting. That was interesting. I did like reading that. Hey, bud, isn't this your name?
What do you know? The High Plains Grifter. What do you want, Mac? Someone should tell our Euro pal, Mr. Riviera, he's overdrawn. Need anything else? Yeah. What are you doing? Get away from that safe.
Alright. I say, would you like a book?
Can't stop a constituent's in trouble. Afternoon.
Very well then. Where is the Here it is.
Glad you're here, stranger. We're in something of a pickle. Ever since the president signed the bill restricting Chinese immigration this Monday, there have been all sorts of anti-Asian agitations.
And Diamondback?
Yes, unfortunately, and now the Belchers are going to burn out our Chinese community. They've got to be stopped, and we have no sheriff to do it.
Belcher boys are intending to torch Help Shop with help inside it.
Stranger, get over there and stop them. I don't come that cheap. You disgrace the idea of a free press. Now, give me the bottle. What do you want to know?
How do people make a living?
Not from selling anything, I'll tell you. We got a pharmacist who won't give you drugs. A store owner obsessed with checkers in a curiosity shop. It's a wonder they're not starving.
Sophie.
Sophie? A bit thin-minded, that girl. She's had to work with the assets the good Lord gave her, and good Lord, were those assets generous.
Dear me.
Shit, no. Easy money's our motto, and boy, was the money easy to lose. We were founded during the pyrite rush. Pyrite, that's fool's gold to you. Well, when the pyrite ran out, so did Diamondback's future. Now, there are some people like the mayor who think that there's more pyrite up there. Who knows? Enough talk. I've drunk your hospitality dry.
So you have. Oh my, yes.
It'll be $5 to fill your jug, and you don't got it.
I don't. So I don't.
What do you know, the High Plains Grifter? What do you want, Mac?
Draw.
Well, how much? Here. Don't spend it all in one place. Need anything else? Yeah. Why, if it isn't Mr. Vanderbilt, come to give me $1 million.
Just
What do
wondering
you
if he
want,
says
Mac?
anything new now.
Someone should tell our Europower. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you be. Topped off for $5.
Get on down to the curiosity shop. I'm covering you if there's trouble.
Somehow I doubt that.
I don't come that cheap. You disgrace the idea of a free press. Now, give me the bottle. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Marie.
She's got a smile to blind the eyes and a soul to tarnish silver. Black Marie is what the cowhands call her. She's a cold one for 18. I'd be careful of her. Sophie? A bit thin-minded.
Hard to have a good place.
Una's been at it for 5 years. Half Diamondback detests her business, other half figures it's none of theirs. Enough talk. I've drunk your hospitality dry.
So you have, my good man.
Hello, stranger. I was waiting for you.
What's new with you?
Belcher's downstairs. He wants to buy you a beer. Says a body who can whip his brother Dell must be a body worth knowing. He's waiting on you at the bar. Go say hello.
Yeah,
You
go
can't
meet her.
miss him. He's the one with the clean undershirt at the bar. So long, stranger.
Well, I'll be jiggered. You confound me all to hell. What are you doing in here, stranger?
I'm just looking
You ain't
around.
poking around Red's room, by God, not while I'm here. Get out. O-U-T outside.
He's not gonna take
Well,
the
now,
lucky me.
looks like we got company. I'm Dale Belcher. I own this
Oh, this
town.
is different.
Shut up, Dale.
We's burning out them Chinese. Then we's dealing with you.
Yeah,
Wait,
then
this
we're
is-
gonna deal with you. Deal with you real good.
Why, stranger? You like them Chinese?
Yeah, use yellow all right. Well, the Belcher militia's taking
The,
care
the
of
game
you.
doesn't know what to do.
Boy, you just inked your own death warrant. Come on, Dale. Let's torch the place.
The game was like, didn't know what to do about that.
Tarnation and buzzards bullocks. I'm a done conversating. Now get.
Alright.
Go away! I'm practicing! She'll be coming round when she comes! She'll be coming round when she comes! She'll be coming round. Bang on Maisie's door!
Alright. Wow, that was interesting. Excuse me. I wonder if that's the clue. I'm not supposed to click on him, I'm supposed to click on him.
Time for talking's up, boy. Get ready to meet your maker.
No, never mind.
It seemed the stranger was a good shot, but old Cobb, he was even better. We buried the stranger in Shady Acres. It was a nice coffin, the best we could afford. I think he would have appreciated it.
Yeah, well...
I'm a drinking. And when I'm doing that, you best leave me be. Hell yes, I'd mind. I'm a drinking. And when I'm doing that, you best leave me be. Not right now. I'm a drinking.
I gotta get him to
I'm doing
leave
that,
somehow.
You best leave me be. What in tarnation's this? No, thanks. Damn and hellfire. I don't need it.
Flowers for Ruby?
No, thanks. Couldn't use it to spit in. What in tarnation's this? No, thanks. Hell yes, I'd mind.
Hello there, friend. What do you want, friend? Sure, I'll chew the cutter spell. Nate Trotter's the stubbornest cuss you ever saw.
Yeah.
No problem.
Hey, there's trouble.
Buck, I'd be careful. They serious.
Yeah, I know.
Buck, I'd be careful.
What?
I think he would have appreciated it.
Think so? I'm just wondering. Excuse me.
Figures you'd be the first one up the stairs. What do you want, cowboy? Seems like men deserve it. I can't afford to hate anybody. I'm a saloon girl. Right. A regular angel. What about you, cowboy? Are you good, or just bad and ugly? No, not a chance. I dated that guy. His dimples were much nicer. Watch your step around Diamondback, cowboy. Those Belcher brothers would just as soon kill you as look at you. If I were a man, what they did was just lower than low. Cobb Belcher hit Maisie. Men who hit women are no men at all. If you gotta slap people around to feel important, then I figure you're pretty meager indeed.
Why, flowers! For me. Aren't these the prettiest things?
Cowboy, you can be right old-fashioned sweet. Excuse me while I go downstairs and put these in water.
Ding busted, stranger. I know where you've been just now.
Trotter's
so
bullet
you
found
talk-
its mark. There wasn't anything Doc Rodham could do. I think he would
would
have
have
appreciated it.
it. Sure.
Say hey, cowboy. Thanks again for the flowers. already! I'm expecting somebody and it ain't you! Bang on Maisie's door!
Forgot about that. I don't get it. How am I supposed to... What am I supposed to do?
Hello, what can I do for you? Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some sugar. Would you care for some apples? And I still have a few irons left. What would you like to buy? We have a wide selection. Try again. Come back.
Does he say something else if I come in here?
Hello, what can I do for you? Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? You want some coffee?
It
Over
does
there
change.
is some pepper. You'd like that, wouldn't you? And I know I have some cigars left.
Ah, yeah, I need
What
cigars.
would you like to buy?
I need cigars.
We have a
Would
wide selection.
come
Try
in.
again. Feel free to look around.
Let me go back to the bank.
Why, if it isn't Mr. Vanderbilt. Well, how much? What? One? Yeah.
I'm trying to see if maybe there's like some...
Hello, what can I do for you?
Like some of that parrot food.
Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some rolling pins. Over there is some pepper. You'd like that, wouldn't you? And I still have a few irons left. What would you like to buy? We have a wide selection. Try again. Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some sugar. Over
Oh, he
there
doesn't-
is some pepper.
I can...
You'd like
it
that,
just...
wouldn't
it
you?
I don't have to leave
And
the
I
store.
still have a few peaches left. What would you like to buy? We have a wide selection. Try again. Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I've got pots and pans. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Over there are some wash basins. And I know I have some cigars left. What would you like to buy? We have a wide selection. Try again. Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some rolling pins. Would you care for some apples? I still have some cloth left. What would you like to buy?
Cloth.
We have a wide selection. Try again. Let's see. Do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I have some rolling pins. Over there is some pepper. You'd like that, wouldn't you? And I know I have some cigars left. What would you like to buy? Don't make me sneeze.
I don't even get it. What can you even get? Because I remember I didn't like the iron. Before, but I didn't get anything from that either. So bizarre. Hmm. What? Oh. So you can't pass them. Oh. You can't pass them, you can't go inside the store. Hey, Leroy.
Want to try the target range, do you now?
Do you like something?
You try that again and I'll whoop your damn ass.
I'm calling your bluff.
You try that again and I'll whoop your damn ass.
Some biscuits?
No! No! If and I can't drink it, I don't want it. Go on then.
Understood.
There you be. Topped off for $5. Thanks. I needed a swig or two. Want to try the target range, do you now? Thanks. I needed a swig or two.
Is that it?
Go on then.
Evidently. It's not where the mask is. Notice how the clock goes twice as fast.
I suggest you put that mask back immediately. I suggest you put that mask back immediately. I suggest you put that mask back immediately.
Wait. That's new. Tell you what, creeping around that house is a little scary because, you know, you can actually die. What is this? An apple. Got a zigzag. Can't go this way though. I think we established there's nothing. There's no... If I could get my hands on... If I could get my hands on some... like... parrot seed or whatever.
Hello, what can I do for you? Let's see, do you need hardware, ranch supplies, or food? I've got pots and pans. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Over there is some pepper. You'd like that, wouldn't you? And I know I have some cigars left. What would you like to buy? Doing a little cooking, huh?
It doesn't even give it to me. Nothing like a game of checkers, is there? What say you, friend?
Panther piss, spit it out and hear it hiss.
Good talk. Oh no. That was the tumbleweed.
Can't talk now. Someone's dying to see me. Good day.
Indeed.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Fat Maisie's freelancing upstairs again. We simply can't have it. I cannot talk at the moment.
He won't answer.
Go on, get.
Alright.
Oh, you again.
Just buying a few things.
Good luck. The selection's awful here. I hear that you bought a book from Help. Well, I'd like to buy it from you. Will you take $100 for it?
$100? Yes.
Thanks, sport. I collect rare editions, and this one is very rare indeed. Bored. This place is full of interaction. What about a game of cards at the hard drive? Sorry, I'm not interested.
Very well then.
Nice speaking with you. Good afternoon.
Holy smokes. Well, that deserves a save right there. Panther Biz. Oh, what in the world? It's like, hey, you. Hint, hint, hint. Go put your money in the bank.
Yeah. It doesn't look like you got a red cent. What do you want, Mac?
I'm begging your pardon, but I do.
How much?
Keep it just under $10 so that guy can't rob me.
Thanks. Need anything else? Someone should tell our Euro pal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch that safe and you'll be sorry.
Calling your bluff.
What are you doing? Get away from that safe.
Okay, so... Oh. It's like I can't move. Man, so I can't... Where's the mayor? Is he around? That tumbleweed. So. Oh, yeah, Grant Street. So. Have we got a problem? Because I can't talk to Ruby.
Time for talking's up, boy. Get ready to meet.
It seemed the stranger was a good shot, but old Cobb...
I can't talk to
he
Ruby
was even better.
and live.
We buried the stranger
in
Shady Acres.
I can't even move.
It was a nice coffin, the best we could afford. I think he would have appreciated it.
Well, I think we're just going to go ahead and call it there because, well, been recording for over 2 hours and 20 minutes, so, and it's probably going to be about as long, if not a little shorter by the time it's premiering, but yeah, I'm stuck. And but hey, I did get over I did get $100 for the book. My gosh. So hey, won't be going broke anytime soon. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and hope to see y'all next time. Ciao.